Hey, Cowboys Nation, this is Cowboys Wire News, your home for breaking news, smart analysis, rumors, and film room insights. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a snap. Let's talk America's team. The rumor started quietly, almost like a whisper behind the scenes. But it didn't take long for it to explode across conversations among fans, insiders, and media personalities who live and breathe the Dallas Cowboys every single day. The idea that Jerry Jones, the most outspoken and emotionally driven owner in professional football, could privately harbor regret about committing to Dak Prescott is the kind of narrative that instantly captures attention in this speculative scenario. The words attributed to Jerry Jones are not presented as a formal statement, but rather as an emotional outburst, something said behind closed doors, perhaps in a moment of frustration. When expectations collide with reality, Dak Prescott has been the face of the Cowboys for years. A leader who embodies professionalism, resilience, and loyalty to the franchise. Yet rumors thrive precisely because they tap into doubt. The Cowboys are not just a team. They are a symbol, a global brand. And every decision made at the quarterback position carries enormous weight. When people speculate that Jerry Jones regrets his decision, they are really questioning whether the organization chose stability over risk, comfort over transformation, and patience over bold change. This is not about a single performance or a single moment, but about the cumulative pressure that builds when a franchise defines itself by championships and larger-than-life ambitions that remain unfulfilled. Within this speculative narrative, Dak Prescott becomes a symbol of both hope and frustration. A quarterback who has delivered consistency but has also been burdened with expectations that might be unrealistic in such a complex league. Jerry Jones has always been known for his emotional investment in his players, often speaking of them as family, yet also demanding greatness that matches the Cowboys' historical legacy. The rumor suggests that, in private, Jones might be wrestling with the idea that committing long-term to Dak closed certain doors. This is not to say Dak lacks talent or leadership, but rather that the modern National Football League is ruthless, constantly evolving, and unforgiving to teams that stand still. Speculation feeds on the contrast between Dak's calm demeanor and Jerry's fiery personality, creating a narrative tension that feels almost cinematic. Fans imagine conversations where Jones questions whether a different quarterback, a different style, or a different philosophy could have pushed the Cowboys closer to their ultimate goal. These imagined regrets are less about Dak as a person and more about the immense pressure that comes with running the most valuable franchise in sports. As the rumor grows, it inevitably pulls in the broader context of the Cowboys' identity. A team perpetually positioned between tradition and reinvention, Dak Prescott arrived as an unexpected solution. A steady presence who exceeded early expectations and earned the trust of coaches, teammates, and ownership. Yet speculation thrives on the idea that what once felt like a perfect fit may no longer align with the future Jerry Jones envisions. In this narrative, regret does not mean rejection, but reflection. The kind that surfaces late at night when an owner reviews the long road behind him and wonders about the paths not taken. The Cowboys fan base is uniquely passionate, dissecting every rumor and amplifying every whisper, and the idea of regret resonates because it mirrors their own doubts and hopes. They want to believe in Dak, but they also crave the mythical quarterback who can single-handedly restore the Cowboys to unquestioned dominance. This speculative tension fuels endless debate and keeps the rumor alive. Even without concrete evidence, the media-fueled nature of the Cowboys ecosystem ensures that any perceived crack in confidence becomes a full-blown storyline. Jerry Jones, known for speaking his mind, is often interpreted through a magnifying glass, where tone and phrasing are dissected endlessly. In this speculative account, his alleged regret is not a definitive judgment, but an emotional reaction shaped by the weight of expectations. Dak Prescott, meanwhile, remains the consummate professional, rarely engaging in public controversy and consistently projecting confidence. This contrast only deepens the rumor, as fans and commentators project their own narratives onto the silence. They imagine a crossroads moment where the Cowboys must decide whether continuity is enough in a league that rewards innovation and risk. The idea of regret becomes a dramatic lens through which the entire franchise is examined, transforming routine challenges into existential questions about leadership, vision, and legacy. Speculation also touches on the financial and symbolic investment the Cowboys have made in Dak Prescott. Committing to a quarterback is not merely a tactical decision. It is a declaration of identity in this imagined scenario. Jerry Jones reflects on whether the commitment locked the team into a specific trajectory that may limit flexibility. This kind of regret, if it exists at all, would be deeply personal, rooted in the emotional burden of leadership rather than a cold evaluation of performance. Dak represents stability, accountability, and resilience, qualities Jerry has praised repeatedly, yet the rumor suggests a lingering doubt about whether stability alone can deliver the ultimate prize. This narrative resonates because it mirrors the internal conflict many leaders face. When balancing loyalty with ambition, the Cowboys, under Jones, have always been bold, sometimes stubborn, and always confident in their own vision. Regret, even speculative, challenges that image and invites fans to reconsider what boldness truly means. As the first part of this speculative story unfolds, it becomes clear that the rumor is less about a single quote and more about the emotional landscape of a franchise under constant scrutiny. Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott are both larger-than-life figures, each representing different aspects of the Cowboys' identity. The idea of regret is compelling because it humanizes Jones, portraying him not as an untouchable billionaire owner, but as someone capable of doubt and introspection. It also places Dak in a complex position, respected and trusted, yet constantly measured against an ever-shifting standard of greatness. This tension keeps the rumor alive, fueling discussions that stretch far beyond facts and into the realm of belief, emotion, and imagination. In the second part of this speculative narrative, the conversation shifts toward what such regret, if it exists, might mean for the future of the Cowboys. Rumors suggest that Jerry Jones could be internally reassessing his philosophy, questioning whether the team's current structure maximizes Dak Prescott's strengths or inadvertently exposes his limitations. This is not framed as blame, but as a strategic self-examination, the kind that emerges when ambition clashes with reality. The Cowboys are expected to compete at the highest level every season, and anything less than ultimate success feels like failure. In this imagined scenario, regret becomes a catalyst for potential change, not necessarily at the quarterback position, but in how the organization builds around him. The speculation paints a picture of Jerry Jones wrestling with the idea that perhaps the burden placed on Dak has been too heavy, that the expectations of being the savior of a legendary franchise might distort any fair evaluation of his performance. Fans, immersed in this rumor, begin to interpret every comment and every decision as part of a larger story. Dak Prescott's leadership, his calm under pressure, and his public confidence are re-examined through the lens of alleged regret. Some imagine Jerry Jones wondering whether a more volatile, improvisational quarterback might better align with the modern game, while others believe Jones regrets not fully committing to a more aggressive team-building strategy around Dak. The speculation thrives because it offers multiple interpretations, each reflecting different philosophies of football success. Dak remains a polarizing figure not because of who he is, but because of what he represents in the ongoing debate about consistency versus transformation. In this narrative, regret is not a verdict, but a question mark hanging over the franchise. The rumor also invites reflection on Jerry Jones' legacy as an owner, who has never been afraid to make bold moves or stand by his decisions publicly. Imagining him expressing regret challenges the long-held perception of unwavering confidence. Yet even in this speculative framework, the regret is portrayed as fleeting, an emotional response, rather than a permanent stance. Jones has always believed in his ability to steer the Cowboys back to glory, and this imagined doubt only underscores how deeply he cares about winning. Dak Prescott, in turn, is framed as a quarterback caught in the crossfire of expectation and aspiration, a player whose professionalism may never fully silence the hunger for something more spectacular. This dynamic keeps the rumor alive. As fans debate whether loyalty should outweigh the pursuit of change, speculation continues by exploring how Dak himself might respond internally to the idea that the owner regrets committing to him. While Dak rarely addresses rumors directly, the narrative imagines him using doubt as motivation, reinforcing his belief that leadership is proven through resilience. The Cowboys' locker room, often described as unified, becomes a backdrop for imagined conversations about trust and belief. In this scenario, regret does not fracture the team, but adds another layer of complexity to an already demanding environment. Dak's role as a leader becomes even more significant, as he must navigate not only the expectations of fans and media, but also the imagined internal doubts of ownership. This tension adds drama and depth to the rumor, making it feel plausible even without Confirmation: the broader league context also plays a role in sustaining this speculation. The National Football League is driven by narratives of quick turnarounds and instant success, often glorifying teams that take risks at the quarterback position. Against this backdrop, the Cowboys' commitment to Dak Prescott is framed as both admirable and potentially limiting. Jerry Jones, known for his desire to stay relevant and competitive, is imagined questioning whether patience remains a virtue in a league obsessed with novelty. This imagined regret is less about Dak's ability and more about the relentless comparison to other franchises and their perceived boldness. The Cowboys, always in the spotlight, feel this pressure more intensely than most teams as the speculative story nears its conclusion. It becomes clear that the rumor serves as a mirror reflecting the hopes and anxieties of the Cowboys fan base. Jerry Jones' alleged regret resonates because it echoes the questions fans ask themselves every season. Is this the right leader? Is this the right path? Is patience enough? Dak Prescott stands at the center of these questions, not as a villain or a hero, but as a complex figure navigating extraordinary expectations. The rumor, while unconfirmed, thrives because it captures the emotional reality of a franchise forever chasing its own legend. In the end, whether regret truly exists matters less than the conversation it sparks. A conversation that keeps the Cowboys and Dak Prescott at the heart of football discourse. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. The rumor refuses to die because it taps into something deeper than performance or strategy. It taps into emotion, identity, and the almost mythological status of the Dallas Cowboys in this speculative extension. The idea circulates that Jerry Jones, in moments of solitude, revisits the decision to fully embrace Dak Prescott as the long-term face of the franchise and wonders how history will judge that choice. This is not framed as dissatisfaction, but as a heavy contemplation shaped by decades of ownership, where every quarterback becomes a chapter in a much larger story. Dak represents an era defined by professionalism, stability, and resilience, yet the Cowboys are haunted by memories of eras defined by dominance and trophies. The imagined regret grows not from failure, but from the gap between expectation and legacy. Fans amplify this narrative because it mirrors their own internal conflict, the desire to believe in what they have while fantasizing about what could have been. In this rumor-driven reality, Jerry Jones is not portrayed as turning his back on Dak, but as an owner who understands that time is finite, and windows close faster than anyone wants to admit. The speculation thrives because it humanizes power and reminds everyone that even the most confident leaders are not immune to doubt. As the discussion continues to evolve, the rumor begins to influence how every future decision is perceived. Every draft pick, every roster move, every public comment from Jerry Jones is reinterpreted through the lens of alleged regret. Dak Prescott's contract, his leadership role, and his symbolic importance become central to a narrative that feels larger than football itself. In this imagined scenario, regret becomes a quiet motivator, pushing the organization to search for perfection in all other areas. As a way to justify the commitment already made, Dak is no longer just a quarterback. He is the standard against which the franchise measures its own ambition. This speculation feeds endless debates, with some arguing that true loyalty means doubling down, while others claim that greatness demands constant reinvention. The Cowboys, more than any other team, live in this space of contradiction. The rumor survives because it does not accuse or condemn. It questions, and questions are far more powerful in a media-driven world where certainty is rare, and emotion rules the conversation. Ultimately, these additional whispers reinforce the idea that the story is not about regret alone, but about the weight of expectation that defines the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones and Dak Prescott are bound together in this speculative narrative as symbols of belief, pressure, and unfinished ambition. The rumor suggests that regret, if it exists at all, is not directed at Dak as a player or leader, but at the unforgiving nature of time and opportunity. Championships are fleeting, legacies are permanent, and every decision echoes long after it is made. Dak continues to represent hope for stability and success, while Jerry embodies the relentless pursuit of glory that never truly rests. This ongoing speculation keeps fans talking, debating, and dreaming, ensuring that the Cowboys remain at the center of the football universe. Whether the regret is real or imagined becomes irrelevant, because the conversation itself fuels the myth, turning uncertainty into narrative and narrative into everlasting intrigue. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe. Drop a like and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.